The ballroom shimmered with chandeliers, champagne glasses clinked, and the sound of violins floated through the air. Guests whispered in admiration of the decorations, the lavish catering, the designer suits. It was exactly the kind of wedding my father, Richard Collins, the renowned CEO, wanted for his only son. But while he saw a flawless social event, I saw something else. This wasn't just a wedding. For me, it was a moment to stand tall, not as the heir to a business empire, but as a soldier who had given years of his life to serve his country. I had earned those medals with sweat, pain, and sacrifice. They weren't ornaments, they were pieces of my soul, reminders of the brothers I'd lost and the battles I'd fought. So when I pinned them to my tuxedo jacket that morning, I felt a surge of pride. My father, however, saw them differently. As the ceremony was about to begin, he pulled me aside into a quiet corridor. His jaw was tight, his eyes blazing with the authority that had commanded boardrooms for decades. "Daniel," he hissed, "take those ridiculous medals off. You look disgraceful. This is a wedding, not a military parade." I froze, the words slicing deeper than I expected. Disgraceful? Dad, these aren't just medals. They're part of who I am. He scoffed. Who you were. You're not a soldier anymore. You're a Collins. People will laugh. Investors are here. Future partners are here. Do you want them to see you like some broken veteran begging for respect? His words stung worse than shrapnel. I clenched my fists, feeling the weight of every sleepless night, every moment I'd carried the burden of service, being dismissed in an instant. "I won't take them off," I said firmly. His face darkened. "Daniel, if you embarrass me like this, don't expect my support. Not financially, not professionally. You'll regret it." For a moment, doubt crept in. I could imagine the whispers, the raised brows, the silent judgment of the elite crowd waiting outside. But then I thought about my fallen comrades, about the flag-draped coffins, about the promises I'd made to never let their memory fade. "I'd rather stand poor and proud," I whispered, "than rich and ashamed." When I walked back into the ballroom, the air shifted. Some guests noticed immediately, their eyes darting to the row of medals gleaming against my jacket. My father's glare burned into me from across the aisle. But then something unexpected happened. My bride, Emily, saw me. Her eyes filled with tears, not of embarrassment, but of pride. When she reached me at the altar, she placed her hand over the medals and whispered, "You're the bravest man I know." The ceremony went on. My father sat stiff, seething in silence, but as I looked around, I noticed something, not mockery, but admiration. Guests leaned in, nodding, whispering words of respect. A decorated general in attendance even came forward afterward, shaking my hand and saying, "You honored them today. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise." That night, as Emily and I shared our first dance, I caught my father leaving the hall early, his pride wounded. For once, it didn't matter. Because my medals weren't a disgrace. They were my story. And refusing to take them off wasn't rebellion. It was the purest vow I could make, not just to my wife, but to myself and to every brother I'd lost along the way. And in that moment, I realized, sometimes the most important battles aren't fought on foreign soil. They're fought at home, against those who want to erase who you are. And I had just won mine.